Hi, welcome to another episode of Pub Football with Miles and Jimmy, where we talk about the Premier League and we drink some beers while we do it. One beer. Beers while we do it. We're going into the New Year's Day round of fixtures, so that's happening on Wednesday and Thursday this week. We will be reviewing the weekend's games as we do it. Silly season has had us in a bit of a spin when it comes to these episodes.
Too much football. No idea what the day is.
Christmas Day, I missed it. There was no football. I didn't know what to do with myself. So, anyway, going through the New Year's Day, we'll go through the results quickly first of the weekend. Starting Saturday, 12:30, Brighton beating Bournemouth 2-0 at the Amex. Big win for Brighton, very good win. At 3 o'clock, Newcastle losing at home 2-1 to Everton. Ancelotti's second game in charge. Southampton drawing 1-1 with Crystal Palace. Watford smashing, 10-man Watford smashing Aston Villa at Vicarage Road 3-0. And at 5:30, Norwich holding Spurs to a 2-2 draw. Really, Spurs holding Norwich to a 2-2 draw. It was pretty bad. We'll get into that. West Ham losing 2-1 to Leicester's reserves, and Burnley losing 2-0 to Man United in the late kickoff on Saturday. As for yesterday's fixtures, the Sunday fixtures, Arsenal late comeback win for Chelsea 2-1 against Arsenal. Liverpool beating Wolves, scraping past Wolves 1-0 at 4:30, and then at 6, Man City beating Sheffield United 2-0. We'll go through the fixtures as we go then. So, the kick-off fixture on New Year's Day, 12:30, there are two games happening. First of which, Brighton against Chelsea at the Amex.
What a way to start the
First
year.
things first for Brighton, 2-0, Bournemouth, great win. They're not going down.
No, Brighton, I'm definitely not going down. They played really well. As you say, it was fairly end-to-end. It just seemed like Brighton had a little bit more nous in the final third. Big game, Chelsea at home.
Big game.
Chelsea are better away from home, as it's been proven.
I don't expect Brighton to get much out of this, but
No.
I don't think Brighton will be that worried, because for Brighton fans right now, they must be just thinking, we're barely even in a relegation fight.
No.
This is incredible. We were expecting to be scrapping around the relegation places where every game was important. They can lose this, and it's pretty much a free hit.
Yeah, it's quite nice to see the Potters kind of taken to the Premier League really well. You might have thought it might have taken quite some period of time to get going.
Good manager.
But yeah, no, you're doing really well. 7-year contract. We'll see how far he gets through that. Pardew still in isn't he?
The thing is that they've managed to do by giving him that 7-year contract is his contract's not going to run out for 7 years if he continues to be as good as he is.
Exactly.
That means the buyout's going to have to be more. They're going to have to buy out that contract. Therefore, they might keep him for longer, or they get a decent cash inflow when he does go by someone. If give it 2-3 years, he's still doing what he's doing, and Man United decide that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was bad after the 13th place finish in a row.
Yes.
Graham Potter, they might look at someone like that.
Well,
they
exactly.
might.
He's changed the philosophy of the club and the way they play football, and there is a long-term project there, isn't there? And as a player, I'd think, well, the manager's not going anywhere, so I'm down for staying here and seeing where we go.
Exactly.
Which is good.
Moving on to Chelsea, big turnaround win. Needed. If they lost, I think Tottenham would have been 2 points behind them in the race for the top 4. Now they've won, they're 5 points clear in that top 4 race.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the Arsenal side of it a bit later.
We'll Chelsea, that's fine.
But as for Chelsea, bad start. Frank Lampard made an early change to change the system, realised it wasn't working, looked more comfortable after that.
They were getting absolutely battered for half an hour. The second he brought Jorginho on, it just meant they had more possession, they looked better going forward. He's a very lucky boy to still be on the pitch at the end, and he did nick a goal as well. I thought Abraham was absolutely brilliant. He caused carnage. And it was a little bit harsh on Arsenal, but they got the job done.
Yeah, and there'll be no hard feelings between Lampard and Emerson either. I think Emerson will understand that he had to make the change. He had to make a change. The one thing he could probably say was, why didn't one of the centre-halves go off? Why did they put Tomori at right back and in an unfamiliar position when they could have had a right back and a left back on the pitch? But Lampard had to do something because it wasn't good enough.
And it was nice to see a young lad come on towards the end. Lamptey played really well, right back.
Right back.
Yeah, played really well.
He looked good. So they got Reece James and Lamptey. Azpilicueta must be sweating.
Well, he'll be at the club soon, won't he? Let's be honest. But yeah, I think it's going to be an away win.
Yeah, let's go for score prediction. Brighton-Chelsea.
It's going to be tight, 2-1.
2-1. Next game, Burnley-Aston Villa at Turf Moor. Start with Burnley, who... What did they even do? They lost 2-0 at home to Man United. Best moment of that was Nick Pope with his gangly legs trotting up for the corner at the end. And, absolutely unforgivable by the person who delivered the corner that it went nowhere near Nick Pope. It's an unwritten rule of football. If your the goalkeeper goes up, you have got to... It doesn't matter that he's the worst header of the ball on the pitch because he's not used to doing it. You have got to aim for the goalkeeper. It does help that he's 9'3".
Yeah, they're poor, weren't they? Really poor. We did watch the game. Well, we pretended to watch the game.
Yeah.
They didn't create a lot. They didn't do a lot.
They didn't.
They got sucker punched towards the end, and I expect them to be a lot better this coming weekend.
Well,
not this weekend. This week.
This week, yeah.
Villa, who are going completely the wrong way, but we'll come on to that. But I think a comfortable home win.
Well, let's talk about Aston Villa before we do the score prediction. Losing 3-0 away at Watford, a team that had 10 men for half an hour. They were 1-0 down when Watford went down to 10 men. And they never looked like scoring. Watford killed them even with 10 men. This is a really bad sign. Aston Villa are now edging ever closer. They're in the relegation zone. The Watford look resurgent. Southampton look like they're going to pull away.
Yeah.
It's Aston Villa and Bournemouth are the two teams that are really struggling. And right now, I can't see Villa staying up.
You mentioned it a couple of weeks ago that I think they basically need to rely on Grealish to do something, otherwise their team is very, very average.
I think it was you that mentioned that.
But it's true though, isn't it? You nullify him, they've got nothing else. Wesley's not going to score a goal.
Yeah, he missed a really simple header.
Yeah, he's not cut it yet, has he? And I can't see that changing. And as you say, they're just going the wrong way. Them and Bournemouth are just completely going the wrong way. And I don't see that improving. No, I really don't.
They're really bad. If I were Grealish, I'd jump in January. In January and get in the England squad.
Completely agree. I didn't think that maybe sort of 2-3 weeks ago, but the fact their form is so dire, I would potentially be looking in January going, let's move somewhere better.
And he didn't have a great game against Watford. He got too caught up in the argy-bargy. People like Troy Deeney, who is a Birmingham boy, lad, scoring twice meant that it got on Grealish's nerves.
Yeah, of course.
He does have that side to his game that he needs to temper, but at the same time, a little bit of aggression goes a long way.
Exactly.
You think it's going to be a comfortable home win? Give us a score.
2-0.
I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley.
I can't see Villa scoring.
No.
I cannot see Villa scoring.
The thing is, with Grealish, they can score. I'm going to go 2-1 actually. I've changed it because I think Grealish can unlock that defence.
If he's got any sense, he has an absolute blinder, and then it's January. So,
all right,
it's January. Yeah.
First of 3 o'clock games on New Year's Day: Newcastle, Leicester City at St James's Park. Newcastle with a home loss to Everton. It is what it is. They're having a great season. Everton, Newcastle. I don't think they'll be that bothered about a 2-1 loss.
No, it sounded like a close game, which it might be a bit disappointed. Then at least get a point out of it.
Andy Carroll's playing well.
Yeah, he is really well. And they're looking all right, and they've got Leicester, difficult game, but as you say, they're flying already. Yeah, they're so far ahead of the relegation.
It's a bit like Brighton for me. None of their fans expect them to be where they are, so I don't think that they'll be too. I don't think they'll have high hopes of this fixture. But at the same time, Newcastle this season have been the type of team that could cause an upset in this game.
Yeah, definitely.
They've been tight, they've been compact, they've done the work.
Be interesting to see what Bruce does in January. I would expect him to do something.
Well, we
just need a few more recruits.
We were looking into Joelinton, weren't we? Joelinton's 40 million price tag is an absolute shambles.
Yeah.
It's an absolute. Oh, Sebastian Haller as well, wasn't it?
Haller.
Neither of them have scored enough goals to justify that amount of money being spent before this season. So we're not talking about the form this season. Before this season, it's sort of like 40 mil. Was it Hoffenheim that Joelinton came from?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just the fact they're both playing as lone centre forwards and it's just not working.
But they didn't score that much for their old.
But Haller did. Haller did very well.
Joelinton was scoring. What was we 1 in every 3?
Oh god, yeah, he's just an Emil Heskey
and
basically.
They spent 40 mil on him. Yeah, expected him to score the goals. Andy Carroll's a much better signing, much better player. He's proven in the Premier League.
Yeah, I genuinely think a few more faces through the door in January, they're going to be quite easily sort of 12th, 13th.
Oh, yeah, they don't need much.
Easily.
Willems has been a great signing.
Yeah.
Almiron's starting to play well.
Doing well.
So Maximin's injured at the moment, but has been doing well. And then Andy Carroll and Joelinton have worked all right together up front. Andy Carroll has been the focal point. The goal against Everton was where it got played to him at the back post, a quick header down. It was fantastic.
Let's hope he stays fit.
Leicester will be fresh because they rested. They made 9 changes for West Ham. They still won 2-1. These players. Did you remember that Nempolis Mendy was a Leicester player?
I did, but I'm shocked he's still getting game time.
It's the first. I think it's the first time he's played this season. When his name was, I was like, I assumed he'd gone. just thought he'd gone.
It does give you an idea of how many players Leicester actually have who was actually quite decent.
Chowdhury was very good. Unlucky not to have got many minutes this season.
No,
Nacho and Damari Gray get given a chance. The right back James Justin, bought from Luton, played very, very well.
Yeah, he's decent, really decent.
Yeah, just unlucky that Ricardo is one of the best right backs in the world.
And if he does leave Ricardo, they've got a ready-made
James Justin, fantastic right back. I think that maybe he's gone to the wrong club in Leicester. James Justin, he'd start for most of the other Premier League.
Just where his mate, who was it, Stacey, gone
Jack
to
Stacey
Bournemouth. If it was the other way round, he'd be flying.
Yeah,
I reckon he'd be a good shout for one thing. It's got a big word, but he'd have
no,
a great
not the
season.
Wan-Bissaka and Trippier.
Trent's midfielder now, isn't he?
Well, no, he's still playing right back. But they won with their reserves. They're going to have their first choice team back out again.
I expect to come forward.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go 3-0 Leicester.
3-1.
3-1.
Andy Carroll score.
Southampton Spurs. Southampton are absolutely flying. Another draw, 1-1 against Crystal Palace, a team that I have been slating and saying they were going to go down. They all of a sudden have just had a little bit of an upturn in fortunes, and one of the reasons for that is because Danny Ings is playing superb. He scored again. Was a gift. Was an absolute gift.
Had to take it though
from Palace, but it was a good finish. And he's firing on all cylinders, and this isn't going to be an easy game for Tottenham.
They probably should have won as well, Southampton. They seem to be all over Palace for pretty much the last sort of 10-15 minutes. They've done really well. I'm really pleased for Hasenhüttl. I'm pleased that Danny Ings is scoring goals. They look good at the St Mary's Stadium, and I think he might struggle. Let's struggle against Norwich. So
let's get on to Tottenham. Southampton look like they might have a good chance staying up. Now, I still think they're going to be in a relegation fight the whole
doesn't
season.
take a lot for 3 results to go the wrong way, and you're right back in it.
Right back in it. I think they will stay in it because they're 4 points clear or 3 points clear now. They're not far away. Tottenham against Norwich, quite simply, was pretty woeful for most of the game. Shouldn't have been a disallowed goal. We'll talk about that when we come to Norwich. It's a shambles. VAR will do a bit on at the end. It was shocking, absolutely shocking. But Tottenham didn't play well enough. A lot of players didn't play well enough. There were a couple of players I was really impressed with. I was really impressed with Tanguy Ndombele.
Blinder.
He just looks forward on the ball. He looks very difficult to tackle. Played very, very well. Eriksen did all right. Didn't do a lot, but did all right.
His free kick was decent.
Decent. Lo Celso didn't do enough for me.
Yeah, he's still adjusting to the Premier League. I do like Lo Celso. I like the fact he's technically very good. Ndombele was absolutely wonderful. He's a better version of Dembele with a bit more pace. Yeah. And he does, as you say, looks forward, which is always a winner.
Always going forward, and he just drives the team in. Harry Kane played well where he could. He didn't have much of a chance. Delhi was a bit quiet, almost scored a fantastic goal from a Lo Celso through ball.
And you mentioned Foyt at the start. You said he was having an absolute shocker. And
Foyt was awful. This is why Foyt doesn't play. Because every game, I told you this before the game started.
You said he would have a shocker.
No, I didn't say he's going to have a shocker. I said at some point he's going to lose the ball in a dangerous area. He did, they scored. It wasn't great from Alderweireld either. Vertonghen didn't have a good game. Sergio Aurier was nowhere for most of the game. Ryan Sessegnon I was happy with. I thought he played quite well. However, towards the end, when he was playing left back and he was overlapping, he didn't take his man on once. He didn't even try. He kept passing it back inside and it wasn't working and we needed a goal. I'd like to see him just mix it up, try and hit the byline. That's why Adama Traore is so good. He hits the byline.
Oh yeah, he's very unpredictable, Adama Traore, isn't he? You don't know what the hell he's going to do. I remember Sessegnon was the same every single time.
Yeah. He was squaring up to them, looking like he was going to go, then passing it inside. Yeah. I just want to see him just... That's what Danny Rose, at his best, was very good at doing, was he'd like shape to go inside, he'd knock it outside and get the ball across. That's what I'd like to see him do. Not every time, but try to back yourself.
You were very fortunate to get a point.
Very fortunate. I mean, it was definitely a penalty.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was a stupid tackle, but fair play to Norwich. But Spurs, I think Spurs will slightly improve. I'm not sure if they'll win though.
I expect there to be a few changes. I would say Sanchez will start again. I think Sessegnon might start at left back. I think the midfield, Winks might come back in, maybe not. Ndombele has to start again, but his fitness has been called into question. He might start next to Dyer or Sissoko. Might be Ndombele and Sissoko.
Yeah, we'll see what you do.
Very, very interesting. Score prediction: Southampton Spurs
1-0. I think you're going to be held again.
I'm going to back Spurs 2-1. I'm going to back Spurs because Mourinho doesn't often lose twice, or get a poor result twice in a row. Not often.
He's at a worse club now, so it might happen.
Thank you very much. Watford Wolves. Let's start with Watford. They've turned it around.
Yes, Pearson's he got 7 points out of 9. They're looking better. Did really well at 10 men. Would have won it with 11 anyway. And they are on the up.
7 points. No, it'd be 7 points out of 12. Lost against Liverpool. Didn't deserve to lose. They've drawn with Sheffield United, and then they've beat Aston Villa and beat someone else.
They beat United.
They beat Man United. That's right.
So that's 7 out of the last 3 games.
7 out of 12.
Yeah, fine.
7 out of the last 3. So 7 out of 9, but 7 out of 12 if you're counting all of his games.
But that's still great.
It's great. It's fantastic. It's exactly what they need. They are now, I think, 5 points adrift, but they look like they're progressing. And especially when you count teams like West Ham and Bournemouth, who are only a point up from that, 6 points off them. Right now, you look at the form, you look at the way they're playing, you look at the players they have as well, because Watford have got a good side.
Oh, Deeney's come to the fore, which is the most important thing.
He's come back from injury, he's stepped up. Ismail Assar looks more confident.
Udo looks great.
And Delafeu's much better off the side. So having Deeney as that focal point with them running off, it works. The midfield is working. Etienne Capoe's fantastic.
There's some really good
Hughes
players.
is playing really well. Chalobah's been playing well. Decore looks like he's stepped up. And even Mariappa's having a decent shift at right back.
He'll send off.
Yeah, but he's having a decent shift.
But yeah, no, as you say, that squad is filled with quality, and they're finally starting to show it. They are only going one way, and they are not going to get relegated.
They're not going to get relegated.
There are at least 3 worse teams in Watford at the moment.
Pearson has also done his reputation. He's rediscovered his reputation, because after Leicester, where I thought it was sky high, I thought he did fantastically at Leicester, and he was unceremoniously sacked. Went downhill at Derby, then he went to a Belgian second tier side. It didn't work out. This is him getting back into the management game, and now he's going to become a Pardew. Even after Watford finishes, if he decides to leave at the end of the season, he'll bounce around Premier League clubs for a few years.
I still think the fact Craig Shakespeare's behind him is a massive influence as well. He's a decent manager as well.
Yeah.
That's a really good combo. They're going to be fine.
They're going to be fine.
Wolves is a difficult game, but
Wolves should get through. They lost to Liverpool. They were very unlucky. Another VAR decision. These offsides are just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm getting bored of the sort of millimetre or the shoulder and armpit.
It's awful. Yeah. It's because that, for me, shouldn't be
You give
offside.
the striker the benefit of the doubt.
You've got to say at least half a yard, at least a yard even, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to say like half the body would be a relatively accurate.
There needs to be a parameter of a distance where you go, right, that's inside.
You can see that. Yeah. It should be naked eye. He's offside there.
And obviously we've already been past. We've been past Norwich. No, Norwich coming up. We'll come on to that. But there have been some this
so
week,
unlucky. Also, with the VAR rules for Liverpool's goal, Van Dijk handballed it. Yes, it was in his own half, but it's still he played the pass that led to the goal. That, for me, is part of that's the build up.
Yeah.
I think it came off Lallana on the way through. It came off a player on the way through as well, but that's in the build up.
Of course it is. Yeah, you come back to these phases of play. It's been done earlier this season as well. Where you've gone right back.
Well, that is more direct to the goal than the offside for Sheffield United against Spurs. That was about 45 minutes before.
Yeah.
Shocking. VAR shocking. Wolves very unlucky against Liverpool. Against Watford, I don't know. Adama Traore is going to cause Kiko Firmino all sorts of problems.
I'm going for a home win. I think they're going to keep going, Watford, and it'll be a massive statement if they win this one.
I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going 2-2.
2-1.
2-1, okay. 5:30, Manchester City against Everton. Big test for Carlo Ancelotti, this. Started quite well. We'll start with Man City first. Back to winning ways against Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Professional win. De Bruyne doing what De Bruyne does. But you'd expect that.
Yeah, exactly. They got over the line. Obviously, Sheffield United are a horrible team to play against away from home. At home, sorry. They've done what they've had to do, and they just need to just keep winning games.
The thing is, City aren't going to win the league.
No.
They're going to finish in the top 4. All my eggs would be on the Champions League.
Of course you would, yeah, of course.
They've not won that. That would put them properly into Europe's elite.
And I'm sure Pep is right on it at the moment.
Yeah, I would rest the players in Premier League games to play the Champions League team.
And you do wonder if you might go into the market in January.
Oh, they have to. I think they'll get a centre-half. It wouldn't surprise me if they get a holding midfielder.
And if they could get centre-half and holding midfielders who haven't played in Champions League yet, it's a massive bonus as well.
Yeah, huge.
Because that could make all the difference.
That's difficult.
It's his.
I'm thinking, you know what? They could do worse than looking at Johnny Evans.
Oh, 100%. Even Johnny Evans for 18 months. Yeah. That's
18
fine.
6 months. Just, help get through till Laporte's back. Then for a holding midfielder, I don't know, they'll probably end up going for someone like Declan Rice again just to hold a spot.
They'll get some random Portuguese players, brilliant, and that'll make all the difference. But they just, I agree with you. They should be concentrating on
There are
Champions League.
players available.
Yeah.
There are definitely players available.
And I'm sure they'll win the League Cup. So
As for Everton, Calvert-Lewin, another 2. Where's this come from?
we've slated Calvert-Lewin quite a lot on this.
He must be coming
he's never gonna score 10
up
goals.
towards 10 now.
I think he's very close, if not there.
Because he scored 3 and 2 since Ancelotti's come in. He scored 2 against. Was it Man United? The Chelsea. He scored 2 against Chelsea when Doug Ferguson was in charge.
Yeah,
That's 5.
he's doing really well. And it's
he
surprising,
scored a
isn't it?
couple, yeah.
But I do like the fact his work rate is great, and he's finally starting to get goals. Makes a massive
Well,
difference.
I think the 4-4-2 suits him because he can just run off Moise Kean, or whoever's playing up with him.
Of course.
He can run off them. He doesn't have to worry about the lone strike, the hold-up play.
Trying
as
to
much.
link the play, yeah, he's
so
not
he can
good at
just
that.
get on the end of things. That's what they must be. That's what Doug Ferguson should be saying. Just get on the end of it. That's
And
what you do.
it will be interesting as well what Ancelotti's going to do in January. I did say to you just beforehand that they've been linked with James Rodriguez, Lorenzo Insigne.
I mean, great. And Insigne, what a sign that
would be
would
a sensational
And he'd probably
sign.
end up playing up with Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Because Moise Kean's...
For me, that's not where they should be looking.
Moise Kean's been starting. He is Italian, so Ancelotti might be able to get coax
Yeah, definitely.
the best. Apparently tried to sign him for Napoli as well. So we might see a rejuvenated Moise Kean who decides to stay.
Yeah, and it's such early days into Ancelotti's reign that it's quite difficult to know if there's too much difference at the moment. It'd be interesting to see what happens in sort of 2-3 months' time where they are. But I'd expect him to do some business in January. I hope it's good business because it'd be great if they make a statement.
Now, this is an interesting game because Everton over the last few years, no matter who's managed them, have caused Man City problems, generally. However, I just see this being a Man City comfortable win because I just look at Everton's defence and just think that's a shambles.
And De Bruyne is playing wonderfully at the moment, and he will be the difference again. I can see him winning about 4-0.
Good as was going to go 3-1. What are you saying? 4-0?
4-0, yeah. I think they're going to get absolutely stuffed.
I almost said 4-0 as well.
Yeah, and it'll bring it right back to where you think, where are we? What are we doing? But fair play.
Norwich Crystal Palace, 5:30 on New Year's Day. Norwich should have beaten Spurs. Norwich were fantastic for most of that game. Last 25 minutes, Spurs banged on the door. Norwich did score with the own goal.
Yes.
But, you know, they held out quite well. Tottenham never looked really like scoring. Stupid tackle for the penalty.
Zimmerman should have dived in.
I also think that Lewis should have been sent off for the free kick that led to the goal.
Yes, he should have.
Because it was a handball, and Harry Kane was going to take that on his chest, and it's Harry Kane who's going to score. That was a denying a goal scoring opportunity. It wasn't in the box. You can't. Is it the triple jeopardy thing?
Yeah.
It should have been a red card, but he got lucky. But whatever, he played quite well beyond that.
Oh yeah, Norwich in the last sort of 4 games have been brilliant for sort of halves of them, and they deserve way more points than they've got. They're just not great at the back.
Pookie should have scored. Going at 2-0, it would have been very interesting to see
goal.
what would have happened.
Yeah. 2-0 up, they would have won.
That's what I mean. The VAR goal. Well, Tottenham generally play quite well when they're losing. Play our best football when we're losing, I find.
I still think Norwich.
But Norwich probably would have been able to.
And I feel like over the Christmas period they probably lost sort of 3 or 4 points, which could be massive.
Yeah, they've lost points that they could have got. They shouldn't have lost to Aston Villa.
No, of course they shouldn't. They
have
played really well against Wolves. They should have got something out of that.
They should have got something out of the Spurs. They should have got more out of the Spurs game.
Yeah.
So you know the nails are going into the coffin.
And I like Norwich. They try and play football. They try and do the right things. There's just a bit of a soft core there. If you've got a team coming at you, you feel like they're going to score. Which is
this is leading me on to Crystal Palace.
Oh God.
Well, Palace drew away at Southampton. Norwich is the type of team that will come out and play the way they play. This is the type of team Crystal Palace will beat on the road.
Yeah, I hope not. But you're right. There's going to be so much space as our articles carnage, and I would
Jordan Ayew's looking decent this season.
Terrible. I would be surprised. But I'm going for a home win. I'm hoping Norwich are finally going to get the points they deserve.
It would be great, but I'm going to go 1-0 Palace. I just see it being that game that Palace are organised enough to keep them out, unless they shoot themselves in the foot like they did against Southampton. Because that's the only reason they conceded against Southampton was because they caused themselves problems.
Yeah, I'm going 2-1 Norwich.
Yeah.
On,
okay.
Pookie.
I'm going to go 1-0 Palace. West Ham, Bournemouth. These two teams. This has become a 6-pointer.
Yeah.
These are two teams that are struggling. Well, West Ham have now got rid of Pellegrini. Moyes has come in, so that makes you think West Ham will stay up. Moyes will do enough. Moyes is the type of manager who'll do enough. Yeah. You look at the parts they've got. they've got enough parts for David Moyes to work with. Think about it. You got Ogbonna.
I don't disagree. They've got a great squad, but they're not playing very well.
No,
I
they're
can't
not
see that
playing.
improving.
No, they're not. You'd say that, but you talk about the Watford team.
Yeah, but I don't like David Moyes. I think he was past his sell-by date about 5 years ago. Yeah, I still think he is.
I just think he's got enough nous about him that he's dusted off the claret and blue tie. That's back on. It's got enough about him just to get. You look at the parts of the team. Frederick's a right back. Yeah, all right. But then the rest of the back four, you've got Ogbonna. Who's the other? The centre back that's quite good.
Balbuena.
No, not Balbuena. There's the other one.
Oh, Diop.
Diop and Ogbonna. You've got Creswell at left back. Solid. If
you can go for an entire teammate. I get that.
And Declan Rice in that holding role.
But he's been terrible this season. And I can't see that.
Yeah, but I think that the way the system didn't suit. He's not a ball-playing holding midfielder. And I don't think there'll be a ball-playing side now. I think they'll use Haller properly. They'll get the ball up to him. They'll use Antonio, like we said, like a bull in a china shop, just running around, sprinting all over the place.
Yeah, I get that. But I blame the board. They should have bought in a better manager. No offence to Pellegrini, but go and get a young, innovative manager. Go and get Eddie Howe. Do it properly. And they're going to struggle, mate. I can see them losing this game.
I think they'll stay up. I think this is the game. This is the game to start.
I'd love to see West Ham go down. Wouldn't it be great?
I wouldn't mind it
No,
either.
it'd be great, wouldn't it?
Great for this shirt. Thank you, Ken, for that.
Yeah.
He watches every week.
But it's going to be interesting. He's got to hit the ground running. It depends what he does in January. What's he going to do? There's a lot of quality
he'll go and
there.
get some solid. I think he'll get some solid options through
Premier
the middle
League
of the pitch.
experience as well.
Solid options through the middle of the pitch. I think they'll manage it. I think they'll get something. It wouldn't even surprise me if someone like Fellaini, now that the Chinese wage bans come in,
50k now.
someone like that.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. But I think they're going to lose. I really do. I think Bournemouth are going to turn up.
Bournemouth have been poor, really poor. They were awful against Brighton. They never looked like scoring.
No, I completely agree.
They never looked like scoring. They did nothing. West Ham scored a great goal against in the loss to Leicester with the Fornals goal. It was wonderful football.
It was. Fornals is quite good. He hasn't done it yet, but he's quite good. As you say, when you've got Solanke up front, you're not going to score. So I'm not surprised Bournemouth didn't score a goal. Wilson will come back in. Better players will come back in.
Yeah, but it's not worked with Wilson either. And this is why Wilson should be looking at Danny Ings at Southampton and thinking, there's no way I'm making the England squad at the end of the year.
Well, if he's got any sense, I'm sure there's a club he's going to be talking to, an agent somewhere.
Chelsea. But I'd go and be the backup at Chelsea because he'll come on most games.
The one thing in Bournemouth's favour is I think the last 2 or 3 seasons they've gone to the Olympic Stadium or whatever it's called now.
London Stadium.
They've won every time, and I think it might happen again.
Oh, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham.
I'm going 2-1 Bournemouth.
Okay. Oh, right. 8 o'clock on New Year's Day. Arsenal Man United at the Emirates. This is huge. Man United have looked a bit better. We'll get to Arsenal. I want to do the away team first this time, just because Arsenal, you've got so much to say on them.
Well,
Man United looked average but okay against Burnley. They got the job done.
They just professional performance.
Pereira did okay. I don't really get Pereira. I'm not really sure what type of midfielder he is.
Yeah, you don't know where he plays, what he does, what are his strengths, what his weakness is, and it's just like, well, what does he do? It reminds me a lot of Lingard. I think Lingard's terrible as well.
Scott McTominay's out for a while now.
That's a big blow.
It's a big blow because their best midfield for me is McTominay, Fred, and Pogba at the moment.
Yeah.
But McTominay's out. Pogba was out of the squad against Burnley.
Yeah.
Don't know if he'll be back.
I expect so. They've got to go into the market in January and get a decent midfielder. Massively important. They missed out on Haaland, which is quite funny.
Yeah, that's great. Gone to Dortmund.
Yeah.
But then again, up top, Greenwood has been scoring. He didn't start. Martial looks good as a centre forward.
Yeah, agreed. For me, it was not a priority. Yeah. I think they could get someone else.
I'm not that convinced by Daniel James, I've got to be honest.
No,
I won't lie. I'm not that impressed.
No, agreed. I think the other 3 are better, and they're proving it at the moment.
Rashford's playing well.
Yeah, it's one of those games, especially against an Arsenal defence, which is going to be terrible. I could see them having a bit of joy there. We'll see how we get on.
Very interesting.
Oh, Arsenal.
Let's get on to Arsenal. So, they went 1-0 up.
So the first half an hour, we were absolutely sensational. I was speaking to the bloke next to me. He was like, this is the best football we've seen all year. Yeah. And we were great. Obviously, they changed the system. And we just couldn't cope with the difference. And second half, we were holding on for dear life.
Just everyone, you were at the game.
I went to the game.
You went to the game. But it was interesting because Aubameyang was Good header, good goal.
That was a great goal, yeah.
Good goal.
Yeah.
But then all the players did look well. I even thought in the first half an hour, I thought, oh, Ozil's looking a bit lively.
Yeah, Ozil was tracking back. That never happens. Even Reece Nelson looked great.
Yeah.
Just everyone was doing their bits. Herrera was biting and winning the ball back. And yeah,
Guendouzi still just ran around and didn't do a lot.
The second Jorginho came on, it just changed. And I went, oh my God. We got to half time, you think, oh, it's a great half of football. Did really well. Second half, we just didn't turn up. We were hanging on for dear life. There was a point where it's in the corner and Aubameyang was trying to do like a bicycle kick and just went out for a throw. And like, what are you doing?
That's Aubameyang.
And yeah, obviously we held out. To be fair to David Luiz, he defended brilliantly.
With Mustafi next to him as
Exactly.
well.
Horrific back two. And it's a massive shame that our best player of the season, basically Leno, had an absolute shocker. Straight over his head. Jorginho is standing there to tap in.
Jorginho should have been sent off, but that
100%.
doesn't excuse the mistakes.
No, of course it doesn't.
And then you just got carved open.
Yeah, we did. It reminded me a lot of the Norwich goal that Pukki scored. The fact he basically turned 180 and there's no one next to him. And he just ran. You're like, one of you gets up his bum like that, and the other one just cover. And they both stood off. You're like, where are you both going? Willian had Saka on toast, and it was coming, and it was massively frustrating because we deserved something. But fair play to Chelsea.
Are you going to beat Man United?
No.
What's the score going to be?
I'll go for a draw. We're going to get something. We deserve something. 1-0.
I'm going 2-1 United. Simple reason that I think that you'll play the attacking football in United. You're not strong enough at the back.
The concern is, the back two are a massive concern because obviously Chambers is out for a while now. I don't know where Socrates was. I assume he's injured as well. But it's going to be Mustafi and Luiz was terrible. You have Mavropanos on the bench. Shocker as well.
It's not great, is it?
No, it's not.
On to the second, Liverpool, Sheffield United, the last game of these New Year's fixtures. 8 p.m. on the second. Liverpool won again against Wolves. Yeah, they got lucky, but they won again, and they're going to keep winning, and they're going to win the league.
Yeah, I agree. They're becoming what Man City were at the start of us doing this, where we just go, right, they're going to win. Right, done.
So we don't need to talk about them. Sheffield United got their first away loss in the Premier League this season. First away loss in the Premier League since 2006, we're being technical because they haven't been in the league.
Yeah.
First away loss pretty much for a year.
They had the
best part of the year,
didn't they? They had a goal to slap VAR, I think.
Yeah, but
I think had a chance.
That's just going to happen, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they all get
Now, and let's hope not all bad things come in threes because they're going to lose away again.
Yeah, it's a big ask, isn't it? It doesn't matter what Liverpool do in terms of the rotation. They still seem to play really well.
No. The thing is, it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't really matter how they play. They win.
They do, yeah, and it's really frustrating.
They find a way to win.
I think the only way they're going to lose is if they kind of rest players for maybe a European game in the week and go, we'll
still working.
This Saturday.
They are 50 Premier League home games unbeaten.
Which is crazy, isn't it?
It's mad. It's incredible.
And what do you bet Chris Wilder doing something there? Wouldn't it be great?
Imagine.
When David McGoldrick scores finally and we all go mental. And
we love Sheffield United though. We love the way they play.
Lose 6 on the bounce and lose the league and everyone loves life. And
God, that would be incredible,
wouldn't it? Be great.
Anyway, score prediction please.
4-0.
I'm gonna go 3-0. I think Liverpool will have enough. I just think that
they're just relentless at the moment.
They're too good. They're too good. Anyway, that was Pub Football. We'll do another one of these review preview episodes going into next weekend's games.
Last one of the year, mate.
After that, this is the last one of the year actually, but after that we will be back to normal. So, as this is the last one of the year,
and the decade,
we've only been doing. This is the first season we're doing it, but last show of the year of the decade. For this year, for 2019, thank you for everyone who's tuned in. Thank you for the support. We've had a lot of people come up to us, and random people we weren't expecting to as well.
Yeah, a lot of random
come up
people.
to us and say that they're enjoying it and that they're watching. Thank you. Keep going. We've got loads more planned for the rest of the season and beyond. There's one more cheers for 2019. Cheers.
Cheers.